All right, let's talk about Kenny Pickett. Kind of a weird game, I felt like. I actually thought he played pretty good. Again, it's getting weirder to evaluate Pickett just with some of the situations he's been put in. We've seen the defense a couple of times now really just get, get killed, for lack of a better word. Now, it's against Philadelphia. They do that. So, Pickett, tough assignment in this one. I thought he came out looking okay, though. There were some mishaps. I'll get into the mishaps. But as a whole, I thought he looked okay. It was a lot of stuff like what you see on the screen, where it's going to be a pretty simple concept to beat the zone coverage that the Eagles are running, where you have two receivers lined up to Pickett's left, but the closest to the sideline, the number one receiver, Chase Claypool, he's going to be running a route to try to get closer towards the sideline. But since you only have, you have two Philadelphia Eagles in that area, but James Bradbury, the corner, he's supposed to cover deep. So kind of with two shallower routes, there's only one Philadelphia player who's really covering the flat area on that side of the field. So the hope is that he covers the guy closest to the inside. Claypool can get open on the outside. Look at how when this play begins, well-ran route by Claypool to get himself relatively open. There isn't a wide open scenario here, but he's relatively open. As you see, Pickett was already in throwing motion, made that throw quickly. You're able to pick up some yards. Again, these are not highlight reel level plays, but the reality is most of what a quarterback has to do doesn't have to be a highlight reel level play. Just run the offense, and that's something that I think Pickett did a good job of in this one, of just kind of the simpler game management style things. That's something he has been good at so far in his career, I would say. Like this one's going to be another one of kind of a very similar example. It's going to be a man coverage play. You have, Claypool once again working on Darius Slay, because again, very good 1-2 punch with the Philadelphia Eagles corners with Bradbury and Slay. But you have a route that can work against this coverage. Look at how when Pickett takes the snap, you see that Slay is playing off here, and that's what Pickett notices. Again, Pickett, very good at noticing these little things. He notices when a player is playing a little bit off and things like that. This is stuff that you kind of expect NFL quarterbacks to notice, but not young ones, not rookies. You don't expect them to know that stuff. That's something that typically takes time, but it hasn't with Pickett. He has learned this stuff very quickly. Look, he is able to make this throw, and again, solid completion with a little, nothing crazy, but you're able to move the ball down the field. You pick up a first down on a second down and short there. So, this is the kind of stuff you like to see from a young quarterback. Listen, there's plenty of this stuff. I could make the entire video about just this stuff if I wanted to, but I think you got it, right? You understand, okay, yes, Pickett's good at this stuff. We've established that. So let's talk about some of the things that didn't go so good for these Steelers. I thought a lot of it was stuff like this, where really just stuff outside of his control. When he would see one-on-one matchups, he would take them. He would give his receivers a chance. And it's kind of the thing where when you have good receivers, you get credit for giving your receiver a chance. When you have bad receivers, you get criticism for not getting the completion. It's like, it's the same logic. And that's not to say that the Steelers don't have good receivers. They do. They have players who can definitely make plays. I'm just saying that in a situation like this, where you're playing a good secondary and guys aren't able to get open as consistently, it's just going to make a quarterback look worse in comparison. So on this play, the one-on-one matchup he's going to look towards is going to be Deontay Johnson, who, again, kind of one of the things about the Steelers is they have three receivers who can make plays, but none of them are separation guys. They're all kind of more contested catch guys. Not to say that they can't get separation, but really they're kind of the guys who make good plays and make good catches more so than get wide open. And watch how, it's not going to be a great route by Johnson. He kind of stumbles a little bit, so, it's still a situation where it's kind of a jump ball, a 50-50 ball. Pickett is going to take a chance here. Pickett makes this throw. You see Johnson gets pushed off a little bit with the contact. He thought there could have been a flag there, but at the goal line, they rarely call those. Maybe the throw was a bit too high in general, but again, Pickett's trying to play it safe there on a third down. You don't want to risk a turnover, which could result in an interception. You'd like to at least have another play there to either kick a field goal or go for it. So I understand the logic there, but it's just guys aren't getting open. Makes the quarterback look worse, and maybe you could also put some blame on him too if you wanted to. Kind of a good example of when things went wrong, what went wrong. The other issue I saw was these over-the-middle plays have to start hitting these more if they're going to turn this season around, which maybe that ship has just already sailed, but that's something where they're lacking. The Steelers are lacking, and it's something that should be able to work, where it's a zone coverage play. So, again, Eagles love running zone coverage. There should be ways you can beat this coverage. This route, having a tight end run over the middle, this is something that absolutely can work out. Get yourself into a gap in coverage. This is, a good play to beat this coverage. Look at how, when this play begins, you're going to see that, right here, there's a window, but it's a tight window. These are tough throws to make, but still, there is still a window, right? I mean, yes, it's a difficult throw, but hey, if you want to be an NFL quarterback, sometimes you have to make difficult throws. You can't just make the easy ones. Pickett is going to just overthrow this one a bit. Could have been intercepted. You have to be careful with those. If you're going to make that throw, you have to be careful. He missed the throw a little bit, which resulted in the incompletion there. So this is something I saw that was a bit of a trend. It was. In fact, going over here, the interception, which, one thing, to defend Pickett a little bit, I know he's gotten a lot of, Pickett is his name, so you're going to get a lot of jokes that way. But it kind of reminds me of like when Tua was getting the term Tua turns the ball over, just because that kind of works with his name, but he wasn't actually turning the ball over that much. It was just an easy insult. I feel like that's kind of been a thing with Pickett. Now, Pickett has turned the ball over a decent amount, but he's had some bad turnover luck. He actually hasn't been bad at putting the ball in harm's way. You look at like turnover-worthy plays, he's been pretty good at keeping the ball out of harm's way, kind of league average, which for a rookie I would consider pretty good. But still, this is how it can hurt you, where, again, trying to get into a gap in coverage over the middle. These are plays that can work against this coverage. Listen, it's a tough coverage. Philadelphia, covers well, and this is already a coverage that's kind of designed to beat the pass, so it's difficult for a young quarterback. However, when this play begins, you do see that there's a bit of a window here. I mean, you have to get it over the linebacker, over the middle of the field, but if you can do that, there can be a completion. Pickett's throw, just a tad low, gets tipped up and intercepted. So, again, definitely an element of poor luck there. They're down a ton at this point. This is late in the game, so give your guy a chance. I like the decision to keep throwing it. He just underthrew it a little bit. Not the end of the world. This stuff happens. You're going to miss some throws, but he did miss a couple of those over-the-middle throws, and also you could argue they're not getting out open enough to make it easy on him. So if we're going to talk about the positives, we have to talk about the negatives as well. Like one last example of this exact thing is going to be, again, a very similar thing to the last two plays. Cover 2 zone, receiver running over the middle. Okay, got it. You're going to see Kenny Pickett take the snap, and again, they're playing very far off. The Eagles kind of had a mindset of let's not get beat down the field, so that's what they were doing. You see a situation right here where maybe he could be about to get open, but I almost wonder if Pickett is just a little bit gun shy at this point, even though I'm showing these out of chronological order. The interception was after this play chronologically, but still, there were plays earlier that were dangerous over the middle. Pickett instead decides to try to scramble out and make something happen. He gets sacked instead, because again, good Philadelphia Eagles defensive line really did, have its way with this Steelers offensive line. So you can sit here and, critique that if you want to. To me, I want Kenny Pickett to make this throw. I'm not concerned about those 2 missed throws. I want him to continue making these throws. I think he can make them consistently. You're going to miss some throws. It happens. So not a huge deal. I still feel like this is, Pickett's still playing solidly well. I think that, we obviously when you get a rookie quarterback who was drafted in the first round, you're always hoping he'll turn into some superstar. That's just not the way the NFL works. Guys take some time, but, he's still showing some nice things. Again, kind of a mess of a season by the Steelers, but the real goal right now is they're one of those teams where all that matters is the quarterback. All that matters is Pickett's development, and really all that matters is he has to go out there and just learn how to play football. I mean, he knows how to play football, but you have to learn how to play NFL football. There is a slight difference, but trust me, he's a lot closer to learning how to do that than most rookies are. Maybe he just has to clean up some of the other stuff is probably the real thing he has to do. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.